What's up guys, this is Phoenix from Rise Again Vintage here, back with another video. And on this episode, I just want to show you guys, what I've been thrifting lately, what I've been picking up. On top of that, I sell vintage, of course. Bowie and I, we co-own a store called The Archive inside of Illicit Round. It's a sneaker boutique here in West Des Moines, Iowa. So we, go thrifting a lot. We go to different places, whether it's thrift stores, garage sales, just everything like that. And I just, want to start this series about showing, what I've been picking up, what I do pick up. It's just cool. You never know what you find with vintage, and that's one thing I, fell in love with. Versus, different things like sneakers, everything like that, is like you just never know what you're gonna find. And definitely, I got a big bag full of, shout out to Vans, sponsor the channel and everything, but got a bunch of vintage in that bag, and I just can't wait to show you guys. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, guys. So starting with this first pickup, and again, all this is gonna be on sale on my Depop at Rise Again Vintage, and then at in-store at the Archive. Go check it out if you're local. We've got a bunch of heat, man. So starting off, this crazy Universal Studios Islands of Adventure crew neck. I love this so much. I get a zoom in graphic on that. So cool. It's crazy. And I love that Universal tag too. It's got a little back hit as well. So crazy, just super random. We found this in like a small town, I want to say, in Iowa, somewhere you wouldn't think would have some different vintage and everything like that, or even thrift stores. I wouldn't think there would be any there. We were on the road, to a different place, and we just stopped by and found it. So it's really cool to have. Really cool graphic. I mean, those Universal Studios, graphics are just so cool. Of course, you guys know the ones like the ET one or the Jaws, but there's just so many cool ones. I mean, this Islands of Adventure I never thought I would see, so definitely cool to have. And again, it will be for sale. Up next, I got this Nike gray tag with a little hit of the Nike right there, but it's a gray tag windbreaker. I mean, simple colors, but I think someone could pull this off. Really, it's just crazy to see. And I actually found the pants. I don't have the pants. Pants are back at the shop, but I found a full tracksuit, and it was in the women's section, even if that. So definitely cool to see. If you guys are out in the women's section, or at thrift stores, I should say, check the women's section. Sometimes you never know what you can find. Up next, I sold some of these tees, but I actually just did a buyout recently at the beginning of the year, and it was crazy because I found him on Facebook. I hit him up, and he had one t-shirt. And I go there, and of course I always ask, do you have anything else? And he had a bunch of stuff. He's like, well, I smoked cigarettes in the 90s, so he had a bunch of Camel and Marvel pieces, and here's a couple. Crazy, it's no branding on the front, but on the back you got the big Joe Camel breaking out of some, breaking the wall there with some cigarettes, offering you some cigarettes. It's crazy. It's Camel graphics were so crazy in the 90s, but I love this so much. Just simple pocket tee. And then just that back graphic. So you wouldn't know, you just think this is a simple white t-shirt from the front, but in the back, I mean, that's crazy right there. So definitely really cool. And another one I got from him, again, he said he smoked cigarettes in the 90s, so of course Marble, it's Marble Unlimited, and that lizard that wraps around the front, so cool. Again, something you never see. So again, it's really cool to have. And it's just, just something crazy that you don't see too often. Up next, I got another cool piece that we found, which is this South Park, or I should say Rasta Park, this bootleg South Park t-shirt. Just really cool. It's got the Jamaica on the bottom. It's just so crazy to see, but I love those bootleg South Park tees, or bootleg, Bart Simpson's tees. You got Kenny dead on the side there, and it said no problem on, like, so crazy. Just wild, you don't see it too often. And again, there's just t-shirts that this thing I love about vintage is you're not gonna usually find the same stuff every single day, and that's just so cool. And again, these are finds, these aren't from just one thrift trip. This is finds throughout the week. Even sometimes some of these, it took a couple months to find. Like, I feel like a lot of people think when you go thrifting, you're just gonna instantly find heat, and sometimes that does happen, but other times, I've been on dry streaks where I didn't find anything for like maybe a good 3 weeks to a month, and what you do is just keep going because you never know what you're gonna find. So And here's one that I think we got in a buyout or a find. I can't remember, but it was a Nike Force gray tag tee. Really crazy. Love the graphics on this. The other thing I really love about this is just that fade on that Force graphic is like perfect. It's like somebody wore this to the gym or balled out in it, and they wore it and washed it so much that it just cracked and like faded out beautifully. It's just so cool. Navy blue, you don't see that too often. And then here's another one that's really crazy too. We have a Joe Cool sportswear, kind of a rip of Calvin Klein. You see these a lot, but I love that back with Snoopy just chilling with the shades on, the John Lennon kind of style shades on. And that color too, it's like a teal, I would say, maybe like a light, kind of like blue-green or something, but tees like that. And there's a funny story about that. Again, you never know what you're gonna find. So Bowie and I we're thrifting. We just hadn't found anything throughout the whole night. And just about Goodwill's about to close, and we go there, and I want to say this was like the last rack I found this. It's just crazy. You don't know what you're gonna find ever going thrifting. So definitely really cool piece. And I love the big graphic t-shirts from like cartoons and stuff, and especially those like Calvin Klein rips. If you guys look up on Google or eBay or anything, just see how many graphics. I think they've done like Tasmanian Devil, just a bunch of stuff. I love those like 90s rips of, Calvin Klein, Tommy Hilfiger, things like that. Just so cool to see. Up next, I don't know if you guys are big Betty Boop fans, but I love like the graphics of her t-shirts. And this one's just super simple. It's the Betty Boop, made in America. Just really cool. The black and white kind of graphic with the stars and stripes, popping out there. It's a size large, I want to say, but just again, really cool. From, what year is it from? 98, so really cool to see on a Delta tag. But I love Betty Boop graphics. We've had some throughout this past year that we found. It's just really cool. They have a lot of great graphics, a lot of great designs, especially some double-sided designs too that you don't see too often. So really cool, really these graphics, man. I think that's my biggest things I'm into is graphic t-shirts, anything from cartoons to, of course, you guys know wrestling tees, rock tees. Speaking of a rock tee that we found at the bins, which is this Korn t-shirt. This graphic is crazy, like this like demented ass family and stuff, skull family. It's so cool. I love it with the red too. That was a bins find, and the bins are so cool. Because you never know what you never know what you're gonna find. Sometimes I have patience for the bins, sometimes I don't. It just depends on the day, because our bins isn't like really quick with the rotation. Sometimes you have to wait like an hour for the next rotation, and if you already looked through everything, it's kind of hard to like sit around. So at least for me. But this was like at the end of the bins kind of rotation. So really cool to find. A lot of the Korn t-shirts I've seen like have really good graphics, so that's something I've noticed for sure. Here's one that I actually didn't know too much about. I know the band Heart, of course, but this is a funny story because I was at the bins and then I found somebody on Facebook who was selling this, and I hit her up and literally left the bins to go buy this. And this Heart t-shirt from 1978, kind of baseball t-shirt, single stitch. Love the graphics on this. It's the Heart Rocks Texas, a little tour t-shirt from there. Just so cool. You don't see it too often, and for it being a Facebook find too, it's just something you're not used to. Like I don't really find stuff on Facebook. I see a lot of people find stuff through Facebook Marketplace, but this is probably one of my best finds through Facebook. Just really cool. And speaking of more bands and more kind of band style t-shirts, this John Lennon 1 t-shirt is so cool. I found it at this really small mom and pop thrift store here in Iowa. I love this. Just a black and white John Lennon with the New York City tee, and then on the back, if you guys can read that, just so cool. Such a good message there from the song. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you will join us and the world will live as one. That's beautiful right there. And I know a lot of people love the Beatles, and of course I do too, but John Lennon, as a solo artist, definitely made some really good music too. So just really cool to see. Up next, I got a really cool one. You guys know I'm a big 90s Nickelodeon fan and everything, but this is the Rugrats Go Wild from around 2003. So I got this from a Facebook group, and it was from like t-shirt down. It had this like kind of stain, like a storage kind of unit stain or something like that, or just if it's stored for a while, I don't know. Maybe someone ate some, it was like a ketchup stain too, I don't know, it was really weird. But of course, soaked it in OxyClean, did a little RIT treatment, and was able to get a lot of it out. There's like literally not even that many spots left. And that graphic is so cool. You got Spike, the What's Up dog. I mean, you can't beat that. So cool. So amazing. It says, "What's up, dog?" Spike speaks. June 13th, 2003. Crazy how long ago that was. I mean, it's so wild to see some of these t-shirts and the promo t-shirts. I think that's why I like movie promo t-shirts a lot too, is like the dating on it and just everything. And that was a good movie too. Rugrats, of course, is just 90s Nickelodeon treasure. They have, I think they show them on, it's like called a Splat or something, at night. So I sometimes tune in to watch some of that. And then thrifting, I have a bunch of like orange tapes. So cool. Up next, I got this Missouri all over kind of style print. Really crazy. Just that Missouri across with the tiger, the paws hits on each side of the sleeve. Not, of course, like, we're not big fans of Missouri College and everything, but a piece like that, like, I can flip on Depop. I can also, some people like just college tees in general, and they'll wear them, even here. But that one, like, that just has that like 90s all over print sports style look to it, and so I for sure had to grab that. You can't miss that. So tees like that I grab a lot. I don't know why. I think I'm just really into it. And it's cool to see what other people grab too, like when I see, people on Instagram or different, people who thrift around my community too. But this is something I always grab for sure. What else we got? Oh, this one's interesting. This one's crazy. So I found this at the bins, and a lot of people like these like kind of art style or message tees. This one's really crazy. This is a Don't Panic from '99. It says, what does it say? I used to be schizophrenic, but we're okay now. It's like a little play there, but so cool. Again, you never really see tees like that. And it's a good quality tee too, like, feeling it. I like those kind of tees. There's like a bunch of tees like that. Like there's one that I really like that's just these word tees. It's like an art tee or things like that, where it's like really small print. And then when you zoom in, it says, what is it, like, "you nosy little fucker" or something like that. Like, those kind of tees I'm just a sucker for, so definitely had to grab that. And then closing out with these final 3 t-shirts, I had this one that I think we found in Omaha, actually, because we go out to different places in thrift. We try to. This is Stone Sour Tour t-shirt. Just so crazy. Of course, we live in Iowa, so there's a lot of big Corey Taylor or Slipknot fans, so I think this one's going to be a really easy sell. And I'm not going to put it up for that much either, probably like a $20, $30 tee. So just really cool, for Iowa. People love Slipknot here, so anytime I see anything Slipknot, Corey Taylor, I grab instantly because I know we'll move. And then closing out with probably my 2 favorite t-shirts that recent picked up. And again, this is all going to be available on Depop and in the shop. I got this Kiss, a Live World Tour, 96-97. Really crazy graphic. It's got all the guys on the front. And then on the back it says, "I wanted the best, I got the best." Just so crazy. Love that so much. And that black and that red, probably one of my favorite combinations. I actually got that in a part of another Facebook deal. It's crazy because I never used to get Facebook deals, and then these past 2 Facebook deals in the recent months have been probably 2 of my best pickups so far this year. You never find them, but if you guys do, always search Facebook. You never know what you can find. And closing out, you guys know I'm a big wrestling fan, big into wrestling tees, not only to wear but to sell. And so we got this one. It's the Kevin Nash, the big sexy NWO red t-shirt. So crazy. Look at this. Love that graphic so much. On a Toltex tag, you can't miss it. It's a size large, I want to say. But so clean too. Like, that's a clean graphic that you don't see too often. You see a lot of like the different Kevin Nash tees, and they're always like just big body or anything like that. But to just have the picture and then the font around there too, like that's crazy. And yeah, that's gonna do it for the recent pickups. What we've thrifted and what's for sale too. I do want to thank you guys for watching. Thank you for tuning in. You guys can follow me on Instagram at Rise Again Vintage. You can check out, most of these items are still for sale on my Depop at Rise Again Vintage. So definitely check it out. I'll leave a link below in the description. If you guys are local, check out the shop. Illis Around and the archive. We're inside the Illis Around, bunch of vintage, bunch of sneakers, Supreme, all that kind of stuff. We got it all for you guys over there. Again, I want to thank you for watching. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. And we'll see you in the next one. Peace.